Hello, Tim Michaud here, TJ Michaud's Tree Removal and Creative Landscaping. We're ready to play with the pizza oven a little bit more today, so come on up and join me. So here it is. It's later in the afternoon. It's in the fall, as you notice. The leaves are coming down. We did a tree job this morning. It was a Norway maple. It was over a building. It just went extremely good, and so that's allowed me a couple hours to do some of this, so that's why we're here today. Where I am today is I'm just playing around with the pizza oven idea on what size I want. My intent was it wasn't going to be all that big. I didn't plan on building a big dome, and I definitely didn't want a brick dome. I wanted it to be out of rock, but as I've looked into it more, rock is pretty dangerous. If you try to contain the heat, there's a chance the rock could shatter and even explode. I don't want that. So I ended up deciding on volcanic rock. I'm surprised I even was able to find any here in Maine. I got lucky. So as you see, we've done a lot since we talked last time. It's just tough for me to find a full day to commit to this. This is my busy season. I just haven't been able to do it. So I've been piecing it together a couple hours here and there after work. So unfortunately, I haven't been able to get that taped. But this is where we stand so far. The 3 stations are finally taking shape. The seafood grill station is pretty much completed. I just have to have the grill made, basically. And this second station is where the pizza oven's going to be. And this third location is where the grilling station is going to be. So what we're going to do today is we're going to, I'm trying to figure out the shape that I want for the pizza station. I don't want a big dome pizza oven. I thought about it. I just don't want to take the time to build it, to be honest. I want something simpler, but yeah, that will cook the pizza thoroughly. So I'm playing with different ideas. Now, also, the more I've learned about this, when it comes to rock, you can't enclose the heat. I can't contain the heat. It'll be too warm for the rock, and the rock could possibly break. So I need to use something like brick or cement, which is the typical means of making a pizza oven. But that's not what I wanted to do. So I got lucky. I found some actually volcanic rock. I got 2 different thicknesses here. This one's 1.5 inch, and this one's just under 2. So I believe what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use this first piece as the base to have the fire for the pizza oven on. And then I'm going to build this up with fire brick. May even cut a couple of these stones to put on the sides as well of the pizza oven for insulation. And then I'm going to use a stone like this to actually cook the pizza on. If I don't cook the pizza on this surface, I am playing with the idea of when I enclose the pizza oven, of having like a little shelf landing. So if I can use the actual stone to slide in, and if it doesn't heat up as well as I want it to, then I can slide it out, and I can actually slide in a purchased heating stone, cooking stone. My only fear with this is because it's so thin, one, it won't last very long. I'll probably have to replace it numerous times, but I'm afraid the heat will be too much and it will burn the pizza on the inside. Okay, so what I finally decided on is I'm going to build the pizza oven around this bottom piece of volcanic rock. So I'm just going to mark real quick where I want to put fire brick, because I am going to put a square of fire brick under this volcanic rock, so that way whatever heat this absorbs can't go through the fire brick into the granite below. So I'm going to go with the dimensions of 26 inches. That gets the weight of the oven back onto my stone wall. So I did make this hole, which is where I'm going to store my kindling wood and accessories in here. I made it a little bigger than I probably should have. So I'm really depending on this granite for support. So that's the reason I'm going to go with a 26. So I'm just going to mark this out at 26 inches. 26 8. That'll give me a little wiggle room. And then I can put rock behind that. Yeah, that makes sense. So I'm going to mark off 28. So I'm just putting down another wall of cement because I want to completely have this level. I was short a bag of heat cement, so I've sent someone to get the heat cement, so that's why we're moving on to putting this wall down first, and hopefully we'll still play with that too. And like I mentioned, as I mentioned before, you don't really need to watch me doing all this because every piece is different, and if you use uneven rock, it's going to be the same thing. It's like putting every piece is like a puzzle. You got to add to the other. So basically what you're getting from me is just the basic knowledge of how to do it. These 2 rocks I'm going to use as shims, but I want them to be wet too because the cement will bind to them better if it's wet. Now I had previously cleaned these, so they're fine now. I'm trying, not doing it every time, but I'm trying to wet every stone as I put it into place. Like I said, it makes it cure slower. The slower the cure, the stronger the cement. So I'm just putting down this is the high strength cement. It's basically a combination of cement and small stones. The reason I'm patting it down is I just want to make sure all the air is out of it. I'm going to add a little more rock, a little more cement to it. And I'm going to place this one, so there's a little bit of a divot here. I'm going to try to... As you notice, I'm very hands-on. I don't use many trowels. To me, it's just as easy to do it without a trowel. Okay, so I'm going to put a little more cement on that, and then I'm going to add this other stone. Okay, that's going to have to do. Just means I'm going to have a lot of cleanup to do when I'm done. I got to add some more cement. Actually, I like that. I like the color on this rock, so I'm going to try to use this one, and then I'll have to break this a little bit, and I think I can to fit it in here. So I'll pull this back out, and I want to wet that down a little bit. Now I'm going to just tuck some in. Get it closer to the edge. Okay. Let's try that. Yeah, I think that's going to work. That's going to work just fine. Try to get some of the air out. I really would like to have this piece next, but I got to break quite a bit off. So I'm going to move this rock out. I have a chisel and a rock hammer. I'm going to try to break this off. Well, I got lucky. It broke. Not sure if it's going to be enough, but let's try it, see how it fits. I know if that's going to work. Need a lot of filler, but it's going to work. And also, I saw a couple of videos I've watched on YouTube recently. The guy building the oven mentioned he definitely recommends you getting a mixer instead of doing it by hand. He is absolutely right. I'm just adding some more cement behind the wall. And I'm going to tuck it in underneath that rock to get them nice and level where I want them. So now I just wet these rocks down. So I'm going to use this to level up. Get some cement on it. And I'm going to use it to level this piece. Yep, that's going to work out fine. I think I have a level. I'm going to grab that too after I push a little more of the cement in. I didn't get a chance to clean the moss off this rock, so I'm going to try to keep the cement off from this. I'll clean this for next time. I'm just bracing this wall up and let this dry, and then I'll put the center in. To save on cement, I'm using a lot of small rock and uneven rock that I can't really use in the wall. I'm just using it for filler. This one I'm going to put right in there. This one I'm just going to tuck in right here. Perfect. And I'll find another couple rock to put in the back of this. What I'm doing is I'm just trying to find rock that doesn't have a great straight edge that I'm not going to use on the outside the wall, because the rocks that I'm using right now are all going to be buried under cement, so they don't need to be pretty looking. They just need to fill the space. And I think this is the one. Just finishing using this high strength cement. Tuck it in, get the air bubbles out. And then we're going to move on and put down that row of heat brick. So that way it has a chance to set up. You probably noticed the tape. I had to put the tape on it when I got the bag home. When I went to pick this heat cement up, the guy said he only had one bag and it was ripped. And of course I needed it, so I took it. Once I got it to the truck, you know, it's coming out, it's leaking all over the place. Then he walks back and says, "Oh, I found another bag." So what a good salesman, he got me to take the ripped bag. I just wet this stone down with a garden hose. I just want it wet, and these heat bricks, they're still relatively dry. I'll wet them before I put them down, but my next thing is I'm going to put the heat cement down as a base, and I want to use that cement to help level this. It's a little uneven. It's also downhill a little bit. I want to get it back up. So it's going to take a few minutes to do that. So I'm going to put these heat blocks down. They're basically going to be the base for that piece of large volcanic rock, which will be the base for the pizza oven. Definitely doesn't have to be this thick. But it'll be a good base. So I know this is going to be my low spot. So I got to put a little thicker in here. I have a layer of fire brick down, and I have heat cement under the fire brick, and I got to clean up the extra cement here. And since I have so much heat cement left, I'm going to put the heat cement, cover this, and I'm going to add the volcanic rock. That volcanic rock, because it's heavy, it'll help bind this down, which will make this cement firm up harder, and it gives me a great start for working on the pizza oven. Okay, so it is time for the volcanic rock. Now if I can get this on there without making a mess, and you know what, this might be a trick. Hey, something like that. I don't want to move these out of place. And I definitely need to turn it a little. Oh, I don't have enough cement there. But I think I think that is perfect. That pretty much finishes it for the segment for today. I just got to finish cleaning this up. You know, I'll smooth out the rest of that heat cement and smooth it up. And over here in the rock, where I put down the rock and the new cement to start the next layer, I got to clean up the extra cement that's squashed out onto my rock wall because I don't want to see the cement. I want to see the rock. So now I'm just going to take time with a sponge and wipe and basically clean it all up. As the cement is setting up, I can kind of tuck it in a little bit and it just gives it a better look. And I can completely wipe it off. So I think the next segment, if we get lucky, I'll have the grate for the seafood pit, and we'll do the walls of the pizza oven. Say thank you, and talk to you soon.